The crystalline halls of the Galactic Council chamber trembled with an energy that had nothing to do with the station's power grid. Ambassador Zixter of the Calaxian Collective watched the holographic display with mounting dread, his three eyes darting between the tactical readouts and his fellow council members. "They're still coming," he said, his translator rendering his chittering into flat, emotionless, common galactic. "The human fleet hasn't deviated course by even a fraction of a degree." Jennifer Cross stood at the helm of the UES Indomitable, her fingers dancing across the tactical interface with practiced ease. The flagship of humanity's expeditionary force cut through the void like a knife, followed by 200 vessels that represented Earth's answer to the galaxy's invitation. "Admiral, we're receiving another hail from the Council," her communications officer reported. 97th attempt in the last 6 hours. "Ignore it," Jennifer said without looking up. Her dark eyes remained fixed on the navigational plot. "Maintain course and speed." Behind her, Alex Martinez reviewed the weapons systems readouts from his station. Every ship in their fleet was armed, shields at maximum, and their railguns were charged to capacity. To any observer, it looked like humanity was bringing war to the Council's doorstep. "They're terrified," Alex said quietly, leaning toward Jennifer. "The intel packets we're intercepting. They think we're coming to conquer them." A ghost of a smile crossed Jennifer's face. "Good, let them think that a little longer." In the council chamber, panic had evolved into something approaching hysteria. The Vryn delegate's scales had flushed a deep purple, the color of fear among her species. "We offered them membership. We sent our most honored diplomat. Why won't they respond?" "Because," Councillor Tavor of the Antares Coalition said slowly, reviewing the historical data, "we made a critical error. We didn't study them properly." The holographic records began to play across the chamber's central display. Humanity's first contact had occurred 3 months ago when a Council survey vessel had encountered human ships near the Kepler 442 system. The protocols had been followed perfectly. The Council had transmitted the standard first contact package, offered technology exchanges, and invited humanity to join the galactic community. The humans had listened. They had asked questions, and then they had said no. "No species has ever refused Council membership," Zixter said. "Not in 15,000 years of galactic civilization. The benefits are too great, the protection too valuable. Perhaps that's exactly why they refused," Tavor replied. Jennifer stood in her ready room, reviewing the intelligence her scouts had gathered over the past 3 months. The Galactic Council wasn't the benevolent federation they pretended to be. It was a stagnant hierarchy where the founding species held all real power, and newer members were little more than client states, their technology and resources flowing upward while they received protection and guidance in return. It was colonialism dressed in diplomatic language, and humanity had seen that game before. "They're trying to hail us again," Alex said, entering without bothering to chime. After 6 months as her tactical officer, formality had given way to friendship. "The Council is mobilizing their defense fleet." "Of course they are," Jennifer said. "To them we're an unknown factor, a species that refused their generous offer and is now flying a battle fleet directly toward their capital station. They're trying to figure out if we're insane or if they missed something. And which is it?" "Neither." Jennifer pulled up a holographic display showing their projected arrival. "We're showing them something they've forgotten, that you can't build a galaxy-spanning civilization on the assumption that everyone wants to join your club." 48 hours later, the human fleet dropped out of hyperspace precisely 1 million kilometers from the Council station, close enough to be threatening, far enough to avoid immediate conflict. Every Council defense ship locked weapons on them. Alarms blared throughout the station. Jennifer opened a channel. This time, she would talk. "Galactic Council, this is Admiral Jennifer Cross of the United Earth Systems. We received your invitation. We considered your offer, and we declined." The Council chamber fell silent. "We've spent the last 3 months studying your civilization," Jennifer continued. "Your technology is impressive, your territory is vast, but your structure is fossilized. You haven't had a new idea in 1,000 years. You absorb new species, homogenize their cultures, and add their resources to your collective while the founding members maintain eternal control." Alex monitored the defense fleet. No one was firing. They were listening. "We didn't refuse diplomacy," Jennifer said. "We refused your version of it. The version where accepting your gifts means accepting your hierarchy, where membership means giving up our autonomy." She let that sink in before continuing. "We came here in force not to threaten you, but to make a point. Humanity doesn't need your protection, and we don't need your permission to exist in this galaxy. We came to propose actual diplomacy." trade agreements between equals, technology exchange without strings attached, defense pacts without subjugation. In the council chamber, Tavor began to laugh, a sound that translated as something between joy and astonishment. "They're not refusing diplomacy," he said. "They're refusing to be our vassals. There's a difference." Jennifer watched as the council defense fleet's weapons powered down. After a long moment, a response came through. Admiral Cross, Zixter's voice said carefully, Perhaps we should talk, as equals." Alex grinned. "You think they'll actually change?" Jennifer leaned back in her chair. "Maybe not all of them, but we just taught them that there's more than one way to join the galactic community. And that the word no doesn't mean you're an enemy, it means you're not a subject." The human fleet held position as shuttles began moving between the station and the For the first time in 15,000 years, the Galactic Council was about to negotiate with someone who didn't need them. Humanity had arrived in the galaxy, and they'd arrived on their own terms,